Hey guys, welcome back. Today I've got a really sweet song for you. It's Beautiful Liar by MONSTA X. The song has some really fun riffs and it's not crazy difficult, just a little bit fast. So before we get into it, I just want to remind you guys to give the video a like and leave a comment if you have something to say. And without any further ado, let's zoom into the fretboard and take a closer look. Alright, so we're zoomed in, and before we begin, I just want to mention that I will have a beginner version for this song at the end of the video, but feel free to stick around for the rest of the video if you want to learn some new stuff. But yeah, the beginner version will be at the end. I'll leave a timestamp right now, and you can click that or follow that timestamp and go to the beginner version if you aren't ready to learn the standard version yet. With that being said, let's get straight into it. The song only has two distinct parts, alright? I'm going to put the song structure on the screen right now, and the two distinct parts are the intro and the pre-chorus. We play the same thing for that part, and then the rest of the song, which is the verse, the chorus, and the post-chorus, we play all the same thing for that part, right? So I'm going to show you the intro and the pre-chorus first. We've got two riffs over there, and you saw those at the start of the video that I played, right? And by the way, I'm not actually going to use any overdrive or distortion or anything like that, because it's just going to have a lot of feedback from the amp. So I'm just going to be using a clean tone to teach this. I hope that's alright. So the first riff is going to sound like this. Okay, pretty simple. It's just going to be this riff that runs down a couple of notes, and the notes are as follows. 8th fret on the G string, down to 6, and then 9, 8, 6 on the D string, and then back up to 8. Alright, and all you're doing is you're playing every note 6 times. The only exception is when you get down to the 6th fret of the D string, you play that 6 times again, and 6 times again. Okay, so that's 18 times overall. Then you play the 8th fret on the D string afterwards, and that's also just 6 times. So I'll play that really slowly, I'll count it through with you, and hopefully I won't run out of breath. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so that is the first riff. The next riff, which is probably the coolest part of the song, is it's the one that goes like this. That whole thing, right? So I'm just going to play that in 3 parts because it's going to be easier to digest. First part goes like this. Alright, so we're going to do a slide to the 6th fret of the G string. Okay, this is one of those slides that doesn't really have to start in any particular place. Don't start it too close to the 6th fret, meaning like the 5th fret, that's going to be too close. It's just not going to sound like the slide that you want. I usually start at about the 2nd fret, but you can mess around with that, right? Okay, and now we're going to play down this is actually the E flat minor pentatonic scale, which goes like this. Okay, so this entire riff is based off of that scale. If you know minor pentatonic scales, this will be very simple for you. You'll be able to follow very easily. If not, don't worry, I've got the tabs here to help us out. So we're going to start on the 8th fret of the G string, okay? And the pattern for this first part, for part 1, is going to be triplets, so sets of 3 notes, right? And then we're just going to work our way up until we get to the top note or the first note in the scale. So it's going to go like this. Tabs to help you out there. So then part 2, now we're going to start on the 9th fret over here. The pattern changes this time. Instead of playing sets of 3 like we did in the first part, we're still going to play sets of 3, so it's still triplets, but this time we're going to play just 2 notes per triplet. So basically what I mean here is you're going to play 9 for the first part, 9, 6, 9 on the 5th fret, sorry, the 5th string, okay? So you're going to play a note, play another note, and then go back to that note that you first played. That's the pattern. So 9, 6, 9. Okay, then we move up here to the D string and play 6, 8, 6. Then we play 8, 6, 8. And then we play 6, 8, 6. So that's 6 on the G string, right? So part 2 is going to sound like this. Cool. And then part 3, it's going to sound like this. Okay, so part 3, same pattern as part 2. 8, 6, 8 on the G string, and then 7, 8, 7, but that's 7 on the B string, and then 9, 7, 9 on the B string, then that's 6 on the E string and 9 on the B string, right? And then we're going to do the slide from the 6th fret to the 9th fret of the E string, and then we're going to, after that slide, go straight into this bend. And it's just a very slow bend that doesn't really go anywhere. It's not even like a half bend. So, okay, that's all it is really. And what I'd recommend is don't use one finger to slide, because you're going to find it hard to bend then. Use at least 2 fingers on the same string, right? And then after that, I actually omitted that last little part, which goes, I mean, I don't even want to play it because it sounds really weird. It's that, just the little part at the end of the riff. And I tried to learn that a bit. It turns out the notes are out of key and they have some sort of pitch effect on them, something like that. So I didn't bother with that. If you want to, you can go and try and learn that yourself, but good luck. So yeah, that is the entirety of the intro, pre-chorus, that section. And then up next, we have the other section, which is the verse, the chorus, and the post-chorus, okay? And this whole section is composed of just 2 chords, okay? So we've got an E flat minor and a B flat major. Alright, so for this section, I'm actually just going to show you a couple of variations of things that you can use. It's played for most of the song, so it would be nice to switch it up and try some different things, alright? The first thing I'll show you is just a pattern using these 2 chords, so let me play that quickly. Okay, so that's the pattern for the whole song. You play the first chord for 4 bars, the second chord for 4 bars, and that's it, and then you just repeat. And the strumming pattern I'm using over there is down, up, and then a mute, right? So if you don't know how to mute, with your fingers over here, playing the chord, don't press them down completely, press them down slightly so you get this sound. Okay, so once again, down, up, mute, and then we're going to go an up strum, okay? So down, up, mute, up, and then an up, mute, like that. So very, very slowly. Down, up, mute, up, mute. Okay, and then just repeat that, and when you get to the B flat major, same thing. And this is a nice option to play if you are either playing a clean electric guitar sound like I'm playing right now, or if you're playing this or learning this on an acoustic guitar. So up next, I'll show you how to play it with some power chords. Okay, it's going to be very similar. Okay, we're just going to use these 2 power chords, which are just based off of the same chords. So this one is going to be an E flat 5 chord. Okay, that's the technical name for it. And then the second chord is going to be a B flat 5 chord. Okay, and we can just play exactly the same pattern I showed you now. So down, up, mute, up, mute. Okay, you get the idea. Right, so then Something else you could do with the power chords is you can actually do a palm mute, right? And play something like this. Okay, you get the idea. That also sounds pretty cool. Then the last thing I'll show you is basically playing an arpeggio with the chords. And what an arpeggio means is you just, instead of strumming them, you're picking through it note by note to create, just a different effect. So that's going to sound like this. And I made this up, by the way. It's kind of in the song a little bit, but not quite. So it goes like this. Alright, so what am I playing over there? That E flat minor chord. We're going to play, and this is the string numbers. 5, 4, and everything is palm muted, by the way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, and then repeat. And then the same thing when you get to the B flat major chord, except for you're going to be playing different strings. So it's going to be 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, and just repeat that. Okay, and then the only thing I'll add is that for this section, you will notice that every time a measure ends, which just means every time you end the, or you finish playing the B flat major chord, then you hear this riff that sounds very similar to part 1 of the other riff that I showed you in the intro. And that riff goes like this. Okay, so just to remind you, the riff in part 1 of the other riff goes. Okay, and this riff that I just showed you goes. Okay, so you don't play the whole thing, and then when you end there, you just play this note, and you just slide just down into nowhere in particular, just slide down, right? Alright, so that is actually the entire song, guys. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into the beginner version, and you can also stick around for that if you'd like as well. Okay, so right now we're doing the beginner version. If you skipped here, then you will obviously have missed a big portion of the song, but that's okay. What I will say before we begin is I'm only going to teach you how to play the verse, the chorus, and the post-chorus. And I'm going to put the structure of the song on the screen right now. So there's 2 distinct parts to the song. It's the intro and the pre-chorus. You play the same thing for that part. And then it's the verse, chorus, and post-chorus. And you play the same thing for all of those parts. And the intro and the pre-chorus, unfortunately, I can't simplify that because that just uses riffs that cannot be made into a beginner version, right? So I'm only going to teach you how to play a beginner version of the other sections, right? So first thing you'll need is a capo. Unfortunately, you do need a capo to play this beginner version. Okay, so it's going to be capo on the 1st fret, and then we just use 2 chords. It's going to be a D minor chord, and then an A major. Right. And the strumming pattern I use, you can make up your own, but the one I use is going to go like this. Right, let's go through that. So I'm playing the same thing consistently. It's just down, up, and then up, down. So down, up, down, up, down. Down, up, down, up, down. Down, up, down, up, down. Okay. Okay. And that's it. You just play that on repeat for all those sections. And then there we go, you've got the song down. Hey guys, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If you did enjoy the video and you found it useful, please remember to give it a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what other songs you guys would like me to teach you. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful day further, and I will see you guys next time.